Hey, ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, well, you just got me, the sexiest man on all of wrestling radio. It's Boom Boom here, shaking around live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. Going solo when I had no intention of doing so. I've been waiting the past, God, I think I've been waiting like the past hour for LK to sign on here, but I think he's gone to bed. But I'm going to give him some slack because it should be about, I don't know, 3 a.m. over there in the United Kingdom. So I think we should cut him some slack, kids. What you think? I'd say just for now. Well, kids, we got another NXT in the books, and of course, the first question I'm going to ask, like I ask each and every show that I do here, is what do you give tonight's show? Do you give it a win, a loss, or a tie? So over here in the chat room, down here in the comment section, please let me know who, well, not who, but what do you give tonight's show, win, loss, or tie? I'm going to give it a win. I really felt like this episode of NXT borrowed heavily, at least the formula from Ring of Honor. They had fewer matches, but those matches that they had were longer. They all served a purpose. They got people over. They built up other storylines. They hyped up other things going on in the company right now. So overall, I have to give it a win. So please let me know what you thought, win, loss, or tie. First match we have out the gate is actually a women's match. Alexa Bliss taking on Carmella. I like this. There was a lot of ring psychology in this. Alexa Bliss went in there and started working particularly the left arm of Carmella and was just, hammering on her left arm back and forth. Carmella would never say die. She didn't give up. She kept hanging in there. But ultimately, Alexa Bliss, man, got the win. She did this, what was that? She, anyway, threw her to the ground, did a double stomp, went up, and renamed the Sparkle Splash. It's now called Twisted Bliss. She does that off the top rope, gets the pin, gets the win. So I like that Alexa Bliss getting a nice little push here. They're setting up for something else, so this is more of the payoff here. I actually thought Carmella was going to get the win here. I thought Carmella was going to be the one who walked out because she had gotten a victory over her a few weeks ago. But no, and I think this was the best match. And I know I say this almost every time these two come on, but they are getting better each and every week. I think this is the best match between these young ladies, Bliss and Carmella. So hats off to them. Then they did a recap of the Finn Balor Shinsuke Nakamura face-off. Then they got to some comments by Nakamura. He's basically reconfirming everything that he feels that Finn Balor's the icon of NXT, and for him to be the champion or to get a championship opportunity, he needs to beat him. These two were friends. They met. They crossed paths in Japan. They became friends. I really like that. And by the way, I do want to commend Nakamura for his English. I am just blown away by how much he actually knows, how articulate he is, and he's only going to get better from there. And a lot of people say that foreign talent can't get over, or at least talent in non-English speaking countries have a tough time getting over because they can't talk, they can't deliver promos, they have to get a manager for them. But if not, look at what Nakamura's doing right now. And I think this segment actually kind of ran long. The whole interview. I mean, it wasn't like that he was searching for words or his delivery was slow. No, he was talking. He kept delivering a promo. I mean, he kept talking, kept laying out their history, their past, their friendship, why he feels like he needs to face them. He was laying all that out. And I was like, man, this is actually kind of going on, which is very shocking because, with Asuka, they just give her like a sentence. And it's like she spends it's like Asuka spends and this is not a shot against her, but, it feels like she spends an hour or two just trying to memorize that, one sentence. But there's Nakamura, just boom, there's a whole sit-down promo. So I enjoyed that. Then we go backstage with Kathy Kelly. She's joined by Bayley and said that she's ready for her rematch with Asuka after she's being cleared. But Alexa Bliss, she comes in and says, you know what, you had your shot against Asuka. So you know what, you don't deserve one. It needs to be me. and I'll destroy her like I destroyed your best friend Carmella, and I'm gonna love beating you on the way to the championship. And then boom, next thing you know, we've got it set up next week. Bailey versus Alexa Bliss. So I like the win here. So you get the win for Alexa Bliss. So she's got some heat on her. Then you have a reason for her to face Bailey. You get an excuse to get Bailey back in the ring. Have a match that feel like there's something on the line that makes the women's championship feel important because here's these two girls that they're going to fight just for the opportunity to face the champion. So well executed. Next we had Andrade Cien Almas taking on Noah Putjes. Standard match here with Almas. Not much to it. It ran a little short, but I think it needed to. He got some of his shit in. It's kind of funny because I know that Almas is the former La Sombra from CMLL, and I know this guy can fly. He's a luchador. But after watching Lucha Underground and knowing what luchadors can do, it's just like this guy is running in slow motion. So I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying sometimes it's hard for me to because I'm like, come on, Almas, come on, really get in there, go for it. But I think one of the things he's had to learn in the NXT over at Full Sail University is how to put the brakes on. Then we go backstage with Deandra DeMarco with Austin Aries explain his attack on No Way Jose, and the excuse he gives is kind of half-assed, but I'll let it pass in this one. Basically, he's blaming the fans. I know how original. It's our fault. But I guess that's what, even though it's just fucking makes you want to roll your fucking eyes, I think it does work because it's like, here's the fans cheering for No Way Jose, and he's, rookie, hasn't done anything, but here I am. And people were telling me that I suck. No, you suck. You know what? And this is what I'm doing to get back at you. I'm going to hurt somebody that you like. So, it's kind of lame, but I think it works in this case. And I think there's a case for Austin Aries to become NXT champion once you start, calling up the Finn Balors, the Nakamuras, the Samoa Joes. Once you start calling them up, he's my leading candidate to become NXT champion. Then we go to another sit down here. Finn Balor talking about his friendship with Nakamura and how he helped Shinsuke get into NXT and get settled in. Kind of reversal because he helped because Nakamura helped Balor get settled into Japan, and they faced each other. This one's going to be different, and it's going to be NXT. I like the build up. I really like the build, and this is just a regular episode of NXT. This would be main event worthy on a takeover, but no, they're giving this away. Well, I'm not going to say giving away for free, but they're putting on just a regular NXT show. I really hope it pops the ratings for them on the network. I hope they get some more subs for this. Then we get to the main event, which is a tag team match. You have Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, who still don't have a team name. We need to give them a team name, Internet Infantry. So over here in the comment section, start coming up with names for Gargano and Ciampa. Taking on the Hype Bros. I didn't know these guys were still together, but apparently they are. And this is going to sound shocking because me and LK are extremely critical of the Hype Bros. He hates them both. I just hate Mojo. But I honestly feel like Mojo had the best match he's ever had at NXT tonight in that tag team match. There was a lot of there was actual tag team wrestling, particularly like that spot where they go to the outside, where Gargano goes to the outside. Then Champa follows it up to save his partner, but Raleigh cuts him off with a clothesline. The only thing that was kind of bad was like towards the ending where they're setting up for the Hype Rider and Gargano yanks Mojo out of the ring, and there's just Zack Ryder standing on like the second turnbuckle with his dick in his hand, like, what the fuck do I do? And, oh, you can't do that. We were supposed to finish your partner off. You've interfered. We don't know what to do. And anyway, it didn't work out. Champa, is the legal man. They put Ryder on his knees, and they hit him with that super kick running knee combo. They get the win. And then they talk about how they've they've got some wins here. I mean, they've beaten they've beaten the champions, the Revival. They've beaten was it TM61? They've beaten them, and they're saying, hey, we've got think we're in line for a title shot. This brings out American Alpha. Gable says, we're number one in line, and then out comes the Revival, and he's saying, no, you know what, much as it flatters us that you're both fighting over us, no, neither one of you are worthy. We're the ones driving the car, we're the ones who call the shot, and neither one of you are good enough to face us. This brings out William Regal. And so then we have a match set up where it's going to be American Alpha versus let's see. Oh yeah, it's going to be American Alpha. Sorry, I just cannot fucking talk right now. I apologize. But anyway, he sets up a return match, and this is not at a takeover here. This is just a regular NXT. Coming up here, you got American Alpha versus the Revival for next week. This will be 2 out of 3 falls, so this should be interesting. And then Champa and Gargano are leaving, and then the Authors of Pain come in and attack American Alpha from behind, and they lay them out. Gargano and Champa try to help out, but they get tossed to the outside, and the Authors of Pain take out both members of American Alpha with that Russian leg sweep / clothesline takedown, and Paul Ellering calls them out, and there you go. I think the tag team match was a great match. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I think that was Raleigh's best match. I like the build up here. It's got some logic to it. It's like, hey, we've beaten the former champions. We've beaten these guys. We've beaten TM61. Hey, we think we're in line for a title shot. Then you got American Alpha. Like, no, we haven't gotten a rematch yet. We deserve one. I like that. I like that they're jockeying back and forth for the belt. The only thing I kind of disagree with was I like how it was done. I just would have done things a little differently. If it was me in charge, here's what I would have done. I would have had, if I was William Regal, I would have had Gargano and Champa take on American Alpha and put with the number one contendership online. And then I would have American Alpha come within an eyelash of winning that match, but I would have the Authors of Pain come in and interfere and straight up cost them the match. I would basically have Ellering run distraction on the outside while the Authors of Pain went in and just fucked up American Alpha. And then it would cause Gargano and Ciampa to get the win. This would have them going to face the Revival at TakeOver. And then I would get American Alpha to storm into Regal's office and demand a match against the Authors of Pain because they want payback. And there you go. You got 2 tag team matches on the next takeover, or if you don't want to do that, I mean, you could just tape it, and there you go. You've got another episode of NXT. When they did that with Brooklyn last year, they taped some matches before the big event and aired those the next week on NXT. I think you could do something like that and have it work. But overall, it's an enjoyable show. It was worth watching. If you haven't checked it out, I would really recommend you do that. I like the direction that NXT is going right now because they're hyping up some stuff here. I mean, next week, we got Bliss versus Bayley. They're kind of implying that the number one contendership for the women's championship is on the line. Now you've got American Alpha versus the Revival, 2 out of 3 falls for the tag team championships. Then you've got a couple of weeks, you've got Balor versus Nakamura. It's like now it's not just, see, one of our complaints here at ProWrestling.me, KocoSports.com was that with NXT, the only thing that was important was NXT takeovers. That was it. If it wasn't a takeover, then, you know what? You could take it or leave it. You might have a good episode, you might not. But apparently they must have heard those complaints over there down in Orlando, because now it feels like all these episodes are important. I mean, with this, we've got the setup for the number one contenders for the women's. Again, you see Andre Cien Almas. Get to see him shine again. His match wasn't as good as the one against Ty Dillinger. I think they need to find a better opponent for him rather than like regular Jamokes. And then, of course, the tag team match was good, and we saw a build up. Now we're going to see a tag team title match. I mean, I think it was great. I think it was absolutely worth checking out. So, all right, let's take a look here at your questions and comments. So let me take a look around. All right. Ray Mastani. Okay, God damn it. Okay, Ray, look at me, brother. Brother, look at me. Look at me. Okay, I know you're looking at me, Ray. All right, for those of you who don't know the internet, new to the internet imagery, we have one guy on here, Ray Mastani. He asks all kinds of sometimes inappropriate questions. So we made a rule with him. He could ask them, but he only gets one. He only gets one. So this is his one. And he asked, so if a girl who is a good friend talks to you about her problems and her boyfriend, that means I'm friend zoned and has no attraction to me. Ray, I'm gonna tell you this tonight, like I told you last night. I know that I'm probably not saying what you want to hear, but it's the truth, brother. I would never lie to you. Yes, you are friend zoned. You are friend zoned because she's talking to you about her problems, her boyfriend. She sees you as like a friend, a confidant. She's like you're like that guy friend. She has no sexual attraction to you whatsoever. Let it go. Just take tip from Princess Elsa. Let it go, let it go. You're not gonna get laid by her. So go find some chicks of your own. I apologize for singing, but I said it, Ray. You're not getting any tang, at least not from her. Just let it slide, bro. Go pick up your own tang. And I'm not talking about the stuff that the astronauts drank. There you go. Okay, Ray, that was your one. Uh, Book Nakamura versus Balor. I would just let him go. That's all I would do. I would just let him go. If I wanted to spice it up, maybe I would have the Balor heel turn there. If you're going to bring him, if you're going to bring him in as a heel on the main roster, this is where I would turn him heel. But overall, I would just say that you don't need to book this. I would obviously let it. If they're both going to stay, I would probably say Nakamura. If they're both going, I don't think it really matters, but maybe Balor just to get some more heat on him as he goes, and it gives Nakamura his first loss. Gives him a little bit of fire. Whew. And let's see, Andy Paps, who's about to make his wrestling debut, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming up in the next, I think, 2 weeks from Saturday. He's going to do a run-in, and I'm hoping he's recording that because I want to see that. Hope he's got his collar popped and ready to go. So, but Andy Paps, I give NXT a win. It was a solid show. And by the way, how are you, Booms? I'm doing quite well, thank you. It was a very uneventful day for me. Let's see, I went to the gym today, went to the grocery store, I cooked dinner, and I washed dishes. That's about all I did today. Yes, I know. Most people are like, oh, what do you have? A bunch of 18-year-old girls parachuting naked into your house? No. Those days are long, long gone. I mean, I went crazy last night. I fixed a drink, a White Russian. So that's about as crazy as I get now. Andy Paps, who do you think will be the first draft pick from NXT? I'm betting it's going to be Dean Ambrose because he's the champion. Logically, that would make the most sense because if you're picking, like, I would want to have the champion on my brand. So at least that's what I think. But then again, I was going to say up until about a couple of weeks ago, I was going to say Roman Reigns, but no, that didn't work out. You don't want to draw any attention to that. So I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose, maybe Seth Rollins. Let's see. Will TNA try and compete with SmackDown when it goes live Tuesday, or will they move to Tuesday or Friday? That's a good question. Well, I would actually just stack up and see. If I'm TNA, I might actually just try to compete and see where it goes. Because if they're going, and if the numbers start to falter a little bit, yeah, I would move it. I would move it to, let's see. I would probably move it to Thursday because Thursdays just became open. So why not? I would say move it to a Thursday. Gary North, he gives the show a win. Ray Mastani asked, will Angle come back to WWE? Now, he said in an interview he should be back sometime next year. I don't think it's going to be as a wrestler. This is just my conspiracy theory here. I just stole Dave Coco's conspiracy cap. Okay, I put the conspiracy cap on. My conspiracy cap, in this, I'm thinking he's going to get in the Hall of Fame at Mania. I think that's what that is, because I honestly don't think Kurt Angle is going to pass a WWE physical. I think he went to Pittsburgh because there was reports that he went to Pittsburgh. Now Angle has said that all his conversations with WWE are confidential, which I believe. So he went to Pittsburgh. Maybe he went with the same. Maybe it wasn't official, but he went with the same doctor in Pittsburgh, because in Pittsburgh's where WWE does all their physicals, does all their shit. The doctor lets WWE know, hey, this guy's good to go, or no, you might want to not do that. So he's been to Pittsburgh, and maybe he stopped by there, maybe he didn't. But then again, Angle's from Pittsburgh. And maybe things didn't work out. Maybe he was like, okay, he just can't wrestle. Because, I mean, come on, the guy's had a broken neck. He's been wrestling like balls to the wall for the past 15 years now. So I think maybe he didn't pass the physical, and this is maybe a Hall of Fame induction. Maybe he's going to sign a Legends contract. They can at least get him on programming, have him be a manager. I do not want to see him as an authority figure. I'd like to see him as a manager, or come in and just do those, guest things every now and then. Maybe serve as a mentor. You never know. Should WWE bring back Goldberg? No, because he's overpriced, and I don't think he's worth the money that they're going to have to spend. At least, with like Brock Lesnar, at least the guy is in shape, ready to go. He's got that MMA background. He's a freak athlete. And when it comes to, if Lesnar had to main event a Raw or pay-per-view tomorrow, I'm fairly confident he could deliver. Goldberg, I mean, once the streak died and they actually wanted him to wrestle, and things didn't work out so well for him. That's why he flopped in WWE. So I don't think he's worth the money. If it's like a one-off, maybe it's again for like a Hall of Fame induction, yes. But as far as like a full-time wrestler, no. Boom. Thoughts on the Brother Nero angle? The only thing I've seen with that, Ray, is the video that just went viral when TNA tried to be like Lucha Underground. I said that's like the worst thing I've ever watched in my life. And so that's my thoughts on it. I think it's like, other than that, I don't care. I really don't care. I think the Hardy family is goddamn delusional beyond all fucking belief. But then again, meth's a hell of a drug. But if they're happy and they're making money, more power to them. Let's see, Andy Paps. I kind of want Rude and Aries to be the tag team hunt. I do too. That actually does sound like a good idea. Will WWE work with TNA Wrestling? No. That's from Chauncey Bullet. No. Why? Because you would give credibility. You don't want to do anything to give TNA any credibility. When you're number one, you never look back. Now, when you're number two, you try to throw as much crap as you can in front of the guy who's number one to slow him down. But when you're number one, you never look back. So working with TNA gives them credibility, it gives them attention, and that's two things you don't want to give them. The only time we're going to know about TNA is if and when they go out of business and they buy TNA's library and they put on the WWE Network. That's going to be the only time we hear about it. Okay, this is from Andy. My wrestling name is officially Andy Paps, LOL. So iconic, right? Heels rule, bro. Yes, they do. I like that. Let's get that hashtag. Hashtag heels rule, bro. He's a protein shake, bro. All right. TNA gets a solid 300,000 plus, sometimes 400,000. Oh yeah, they're for TNA. They're doing quite well. I will not argue since they moved to Pop. That's actually helped them out a little bit. I'm just, it's okay. I make this argument when it comes to TNA. I say Rocky Road ice cream. And people are like, what does Rocky Road ice cream have to do? It's like, I like Rocky Road ice cream. There are other people who do not like Rocky Road ice cream. That does not mean that I am right and they are wrong, or they are right and I am wrong. It just, different taste preferences. I'm not a fan of TNA, and I don't know what it's going to take for me to get to get back on that company because I just don't take them seriously. I just don't. I feel like their company is run by a damn buffoon. I feel like it's only a matter of time until until it finally goes under. Because here's the thing: your TNA is eventually going to run out of other people's money because that's the only thing keeping them going is other people's money. And eventually, that well that they've been going to for the longest time, it's eventually going to dry up, and then we're going to be seeing the death of TNA DVD. We're going to see the best of TNA matches hosted by Joey Styles over on the WWE Network. We're going to see like a lame TNA invasion angle over on WWE once they go under. But that's it. So that's my thoughts on TNA. And if you like them, hey, that's fine. Great. More power to you. Hope you continue to watch it. I really hope you enjoy it. And I sincerely mean that. I'm not trolling. I really legitimately mean that. So, but me, it's just not my cup of tea. I've been enjoying NXT, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Lucha Underground. I've been enjoying all that. It's great. Watch the YouTube clips of Billy Corgan is paying the bills as a minority owner. Oh, how the hell they suckered him into that, I don't know. All right, but let's see here. All right, I think that's going to do it here unless you got any more questions, but I'm going to tell everybody, go visit us at prowrestling.me. I've got a contest going. We're doing a pick'em contest for the Raw draft. You get 10 picks, 20 picks, 10 for Raw, 10 for SmackDown. You put who you think's going to wind up where, and if you're correct, you get a point. But we're also doing another thing. If you could successfully pick where an NXT call-up is going to land, you're going to get double the points. You'll get 2 points instead of 1 for that correct pick. Find us on KocoSports.com. KocoSports.net takes you to the same place. It's your home for combat sports. It's where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We're doing pretty much cranking out these shows all the time. Sammy and me, we did a Ring of Honor Best of the World review last night. Me and LK also did a news show. LK should have a TNA review coming up shortly if he hasn't already gotten it out. We've also got a Monday Night Raw review up. I don't know if anybody's reviewing SmackDown yet, and I'm going to wait till Lucha Underground is up and running before I attempt to review that. So be looking for that within the next 24 hours. Of course, we'll start all over again on Monday. All right, one last question here. This is from Chauncey Bullock, and then I got to go here. It says, will PJ Black return to the WWE in the future? I don't think he will. And I honestly don't think he cares because when he was there, he was underutilized. They didn't have him do anything. I mean, that's why he quit, is because they had him there on the roster. The best thing they could find for him to do was get the bunny outfit with Adam Rose's Rosebuds. That was all they could get him to do. And in fact, there's a story about how he quit. He was just, he'd been doing that for months. He'd either be back there doing nothing, wrestling superstars, or in the bunny costume. And he would go to Raws, to events, and they're like, okay, you got anything for me? Oh, you don't have anything for me? So then he'd go out and go sightsee. Hell, he went skydiving. And then finally, just one day, he just said, you know what, fuck it, I quit. And then, sure enough, the day he quit, they called him and said, oh, we got something for you. He was like, oh no, don't worry about it, I quit. And they got pissed off. And so then he just went and started wrestling indie events, and he's having one hell of a time. He's enjoying what he's doing. So no, I don't think he's going to go. I think he's having too much fun on the independent scene, and when he was with WWE, they really didn't know how to use him. So I don't think he'll be back. Will Andy Paps take over the wrestling world? Andy Paps take over the wrestling world to be continued. I hope you do, Andy. I really do. I really want to see what you got, man. And and here's another thing. I know that Sammy and I've been throwing suggestions your way, and just take all that stuff with a grain of salt. Sammy and I are all old frat boys, so we know a little bit about this, and we have some fun with it. So, but anyway, just take it to a grain of salt. Listen to what they're telling you to do, whatever it's your promotion. But if they let you make suggestions, we're just throwing stuff your way. You don't have to say anything, but That's all we're saying. Okay. All right. That's going to do it for me. Again, check us out: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Got some more reviews coming up in the next 24 to 48 hours. Everybody take care of yourself. Send some positive prayers and thoughts up to Coco. And that's going to do it for me. So the boom just went bang, and I am